Hello again. It is a great pleasure to introduce the next video, which will provide further updates on the community plan for Cliffoney and the surrounding areas. This video covers the topics discussed in the last workshop on October the 25th. Anyone who could not attend or would like to provide additional feedback is invited to view the video and make suggestions before the final plan is published. Firstly, I want to give an overview of what a community plan is and what it is not compared to other development plans for the area. The Cliffoney Community Plan is a bottom-up initiative to guide the community towards sustainable development over the coming years. This plan takes an asset-based approach, which looks at opportunities the community can control, while also paying attention to existing problems in the area. Other plans include council and national development plans, which will be informed by the work of the community. Through this work, you are putting Cliffoney and the surrounding areas on the map and making a case for more funding and support from local and national levels. Across 3 workshops, residents were asked to contribute their ideas, hopes and dreams for the local area. We then distilled these down to create a series of actions that you as a community can aim to achieve over the next 5 years. This is based on the capacity of the community, that is, the number of people willing to volunteer, the funding that you can source and other resources at your disposal. It is also essential to recognise that this community plan is built on and appreciates the work that has gone before it. Without this effort, we would not be able to develop a community plan, and the hard work put into bringing the community together should be commended. This brings us to the elements that make up a community plan. At the centre is the identity and the sense of place that brings people together. This identity is surrounded by a culture that strives to create a safe environment for younger and older people who understand the importance of protecting the environment and the area's natural landscape. Within this lies 4 key themes which emerge throughout the community engagement process. These are arts, heritage, enterprise, and recreation. The actions discussed later will build on these 4 themes. But first, we briefly return to the topic of identity. The previous video discussed how residents believe that Cliffoney is a forgotten place. However, we can also look at Cliffoney and the surrounding areas in a different light and recognise them as the hidden gem that they are. Building on this, we see that the sense of place makes an area unique and memorable. It makes people want to spend time in an area, raise a family, or start a business. The publication of the book of Sligo is a good example of a local project that tapped into the importance of place. Similarly, the Wild Atlantic Way, although it is a marketing example, gives the idea of the transformative power that comes with identity and place. But identity goes beyond simply naming an area, and this brings us to the actions that make up the community plan. These are suggested across short, medium and long-term cycles. In the short term, actions will help to build that identity for Cliffoney and the surrounding area, a sense of belonging through community-led action. The first action is an oral histories project, which will bring artists, creatives and the community together to capture the history and heritage of the area through audio stories. For the second action, the community will come together to map local trails, walking, cycle and heritage to support active travel in the area. These mapping exercises are fundamental and can support future funding applications. Case studies are offered throughout the plan, and one example is the Wheels of Athenry project. They recently secured an additional $25,000 in funding after completing a comprehensive map of cycle trails in the area. Next, the community will be tasked with creating a manifesto of all the pressing issues that slow development in the area. This will create a singular voice for the community to present on local and national issues. Working collectively in this way is far more effective than trying to get a response to problems as a lone voice. Speaking together with your local representatives and making submission to county development plans can have a significant impact. Each workshop highlighted how much knowledge and experience already exists within the community. We will need to tap into that and share this knowledge to achieve the actions outlined in this plan. This can take the form of local business networks, environmental action groups, or people seeking to gain new skills. Small participatory actions such as this can significantly enhance your ability as a community to develop more and bigger projects at a later stage. Communication was another issue highlighted in each workshop. A website showcasing all the progress on community projects and events in the area will be created as part of the development of this community plan. After building your identity and sense of belonging in the short term, the focus shifts to connection in the medium term. This includes tapping into funding and networks that are already well established, including SAAI or Community Foundation for Ireland. They will help to develop sustainable energy and biodiversity plans for the area, which will integrate into the community plan and continue to support the sustainable development of the Cliffoney and the surrounding areas. The most effective way to implement climate action is to work at a neighbourhood level. Neighbourhood groups already exist in the village, and they can be harnessed to implement local composting schemes, biodiversity projects, or group purchasing for local energy and retrofitting of homes. While strengthening networks at a local level, it is also essential to reach the surrounding communities and form strategic partners to have a bigger social impact. This includes working with landowners, businesses and community groups with similar ambitions for their area. Forging partnerships in this way will open doors to new and larger streams of funding down the line. These larger pots of funding can be used to develop walking, cycling and heritage trails throughout the area. This builds on earlier mapping exercises and creates opportunities for fundraising walks and new clubs to emerge in the community. And all this community effort should be celebrated. And just like the success of the Christmas Lights event, an annual summer event should be hosted to showcase the very best of Cliffoney through music, song and dance. Each of these actions will build the overall capacity of the community. Stronger relationships encourage greater participation, new businesses to form, and rituals and routines to take root in the community. This will give you a solid foundation to implement more extensive, longer-term actions, such as a social innovation demonstrator project, which will act as a North Star to orientate community efforts over the lifetime of this community plan. Social innovations in local communities can create employment and new forms of revenue which can be used to develop new community spaces such as a playground. Along with this video, there is a short survey for anyone who wishes to provide feedback before the plan is published. And this plan will be launched at an event in Cliffoney Hall, with full details to be announced by the community forum shortly. I'd like to thank you for your time and contributions to developing the community plan. We look forward to receiving any additional feedback and seeing you all at the official launch.